Hi everyone, Footstep of Our Generation here. Today I want to talk about The Doctor Who Fooled the World by Brian Deere. The book tells the history of the Doctor, or a doctor, who in order to sell his own patented version of vaccine, harmed children and created a lie that is fueled by greed and pushed forward by news media looking to increase their rating at that time. So far, it created a generation of anti-vax and a court conversation during COVID for people who unironically believe that vaccine cause autism and so on. The origin of this can be traced back to 1998 England. They used vaccine for MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella. It is a single vaccine shot that targeted 3 diseases at once. And then came Andrew Wakefield. Andrew sees an opportunity to make more money here, because if he sells this 3-in-1 shot separately, so you use 3 shots instead of 1 shot, he'll make so much money, 3 times the amount of the current one. So he tried to make any claim he can in order to take down this MMR vaccine, and in order to do that, he made a report that is so bogus, so fake, that until today, if you try to replicate his report, his research, you cannot replicate his result at all, because all of his source is basically just
my source is that I made it the fuck up.
So every take you see about how bad vaccine is, that nowadays every anti-vaxxer are saying, it started from that vaccine is bad, why my vaccine is bad. And as usual with every controversial take that goes viral, media vultures would chase after rating, interviewed him, and make him appear on TV every day, almost every day, with every one of them have a high rating, everyone watch it. But nobody on the news media at that time take the proper time to research what this guy is saying at all. Instead, he let this guy promote himself and promote that the other vaccine is bad, that his vaccine is better, and how the other vaccine causes autism without any evidence, as I said. And the interviewer just ate it up since they don't know anything. They're not doctors, they're just interviewers. They don't know anything about medicine, they don't know anything about biology. They don't even take their time to call other experts for secondary opinion. All they care about is just to increase their rating. Guys, not much has changed then. Then came Brian Deere, the author of this book, an investigative journalist who at this point has been a veteran at taking down a lot of this drug and medicine industry rumor. At first he's interested in investigating MMR vaccine, but each time he tried to approach Andrew got so scared of him because, well, this is Brian Deere and he's already famous in the industry. So he tried to avoid Brian so much that Brian got suspicious to Andrew instead. Andrew even tried to sue Brian a few times to shut him up because, well, for someone who doesn't have anything to hide, that's the reasonable thing to do, I guess. So at that point, Brian has basically fully suspected Andrew. But at that point, the investigation is at a halt because there is nothing to investigate at that point, except for chasing after Andrew. But then, Andrew tried to sue Brian and succeed to bring him to court. During the procedure though, all of Andrew's research become evidence that Brian can read because of a mistake. During these procedures, all of Andrew's research become evidence, so Brian can read them all, and even without the phone, he can collect a lot of evidence. Andrew recognized his blunder and tried to take back his sue. He tried to stop it all so then he can take all the evidence back. But even without the smartphone, as I said back then, Brian got a lot of evidence that he later used to open a full investigation on this issue. Now the report has come out in the open, and we can actually see the research in the Lancet website. But it kinda look like this. Yeah, it's that bad. And what is worse, the more you read into this report, there are only 12 children that are used in this study for that Andrew used for basically every human on the earth, which is dumb and really dumb. There's no control group, There's no control variable. There's nothing that should be used as research in this research, which is so weird. And every of the result has been tested and confirmed as fake. And the more you look into it, the more fucked up it becomes, because not only is it fake. I said previously that in the study they only used 12 children, but actually, one of those 12 children doesn't have any autism. He is the brother of one of the other 11 children. So it's basically only 11 children. And because he wanted the research to fit his purpose, he tried every test possible to these children. And some of these tests is just basically torture to these children. And these are autistic children under the age of 4 or 5 that can't even express how much they are in pain, how much uncomfortable they are. So yeah, it's basically torture, children torture. After this was found out thanks to Brian Deer work, Andrew got his doctorate taken down because, well, he can no longer become doctor after what he's done. But the damage has been done. Now people know him as the father of the anti-vax. And since he can no longer make a living out of medicine, and since he can no longer make a living out of selling his own version of vaccine, now he goes full on into the anti-vax. That is basically making a living out of fooling people that, hey, I can talk to you how bad this vaccine is as long as you pay me. And that's what he does. This guy has gone full on into the hustle culture so bad that he doesn't care about any of the damage that he can do. He now just talk and talk and talk. Even during the last COVID, he talked a lot. There's not much we can do about it, and there's not much we can do about the damage he's done and the people that he's fooled. But I think the book is still an important read because hopefully this can be a historical evidence that we can read as a lesson. Hopefully this is the one time that we actually learn from history. That's about it.